It's time for Grizz Beat, a full-court press of highlights, insights, and debate around the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Tune in each week on the latest conversations with regional and national insiders locked in on the Grizzlies. Running point from Grind City Media Studios, our host, Jason Smith.
Welcome to Grizz Beat. I'm your host, Jason Smith of 929 FM ESPN. I'm excited because we've got some on-court basketball to discuss again with the Grizzlies having wrapped up the Salt Lake City Summer League yesterday. We also have some reported roster additions, of course, for the Memphis Grizzlies, including a newly acquired reserve center from Golden State in big man Quentin Post. Again, reported trade. So a reported signing. So plenty to discuss on this week's edition of the show. You just make sure you do your part. Make sure you've got those notifications set and that you're joining us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. for Grizz Beat as we take you through Summer League and on into the 26-27 season. And now I'm excited to introduce our panel for this week's show. It's a full staff. To my left is the legend, a living legend. His name is Jarvis Greer, Memphis Sports Hall of Famer and former longtime WMC TV Action News 5 sports director. Jarbo, how you feeling?
Feeling good today, man. You know, it's great. I don't know. Looks like it might come a rain here a little bit. I'm in my little electric vehicle with the doors off, so might get wet going home, but it's all good.
It is all good.
It's all good. The lineup's looking better. We're going to talk about that big time.
The lineup is certainly looking better. I like your Grizzlies soccer shirt there. Looking good.
Yeah, buddy.
USA's bowed out. That's okay.
Hey,
that's okay. I know that one was tough on all of us
it's
there in the
my
World
son,
Cup.
man. He played
There you go.
USL, so that's
there you go. Via Zoom from Salt Lake City, I'm told, and I'm sure will be making his way soon to Las Vegas, the man we call the Guru. He's senior editor, contributor, and analyst, one of the hardest working men here at Grind City Media, Michael Wallace. Michael, how's Salt Lake City treating you?
Hey, Salt Lake City was good, but I'm in Vegas now, man. I made the move. We made the transition. Grizzlies wrapped up Salt Lake City Summer League play last night on Tuesday, got on the plane, made the hour-long flight over to Las Vegas, man. And so I'm coming to you right now from Las Vegas, man.
Yeah, look at that, man. The room looked a whole lot better than it did in Salt Lake City.
See,
Boy, got the big upgrade
I
there.
thought you were still there. You hightailed it up out of Salt Lake City to get to Vegas, where the Grizzlies will start a play on Friday against the Chicago Bulls. And also via Zoom this week from his palatial home studio in Whitehaven. He is the underground king of Memphis sports media, the great Anthony Sane, of course, host of the Anthony Sane Show on Bluff City Media. Sane, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Ready to rock and roll. The Grizzlies are about to do part 2 of this Summer League thing out in Vegas, man. Glad to see the boys playing some basketball. Let's get into it.
We've got the 5 horsemen here because we've got the multi-talented CJ Hurt behind the glass, keeping us in line, and me on time, and a hard-working staff behind the scenes that we're super grateful for as well. Now let's jump into it. Grizzlies went 1-2 in the Salt Lake City Summer League, hammered OKC by 37 in their opener back on July 4th, and before losing to Utah and Atlanta on Monday and Tuesday. Now, Memphis sat several key guys, several of its main guys in that game against Atlanta last night. But we did get a chance to see the debut of number 3 pick Cameron Boozer. That was good, and we saw the Grizzlies give second-year man Cedric Coward the green light offensively. That's enough from me. Want to hear it from the man who had the closest view. Yeah. Michael, you had the close-up view of things in Salt Lake City. What stood out to you most in the 3 games?
You know, what stood out to me most, number one, was the fact that this team adjusted and you know, when they ran into some adversity, they kept fighting. Figured out a way to keep playing, to keep these games competitive, to keep them close. Even when the offense kind of got away from them after that first marvelous, dominant performance on Saturday against Oklahoma City, they still were right there in a nip-and-tuck battle with Utah, the host team, in the second game. And then they fought as much as they could, and both teams were shorthanded playing on the second night of a back-to-back. But if you go individually from that standpoint, I'll say this, man, and I'll turn it over to the rest of you guys, because you guys saw what I saw up close and personal. You know, Cam Boozer is ready. 18 years old. He's absolutely physically ready. He's psychologically ready. His maturity is right there. And this is a guy through his two games that he played in Salt Lake City. You know, he's averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and shooting 65% from the field, and even better from three-point range. So what does that tell you? It's a small sample size, but it's something that he transferred from college to the Summer League.
Yep.
And we'll continue to see if he takes those steps here in Vegas, where it's going to only intensify from here.
Sane, Jarvo, I've got the same question for you guys. Sane, we'll start with you from the Palace out in Whitehaven. What stood out to you most in the 3 games? I figured Boozer's high on your list as well.
Yeah, for sure. I saw a lot of things I like. A lot of guys are playing very well. They're being locked in. But Cam Boozer, man, we're talking about a guy who's about to be the youngest player in the NBA next season, and he looks like a shout out to Drake who said he's a rookie and a vet. Like that's definitely what this kid looks like for sure. Like you're talking about physically, the basketball IQ, the passes he's making. He's a guy. If you was to say, do you think Cam Boozer is the type of guy who would shine in a wide open summer league type environment? I would say no. I kind of expected him to look kind of underwhelming in this, but he looks like he's too good for this style of basketball. He looks like he fits right in. And I want to say he's only taken like maybe 18 shots in the 2 games he's played in, and he ain't missed many of them. You know what I mean? And he's found a way to score 18 and 17, I believe, in the 2 games he's played, and he's not even taking a lot of shots, right? And he's shot maybe – are we talking about maybe 5 of 8 from 3 in those 2 games as well? He's shooting the ball very well. He's going to be a great player, and I can't wait to see when we get larger doses of him, and when he's going to see what he looks like when he's a bigger part of an actual structured offense that Coach Eastlow is probably cooking up as we speak for him.
Yep, could not speed him up. It's like, how rookies say the speed of the game usually throws them off in that transition. Hasn't so far, certainly for Cameron Boozer. Jarvo, for you in the 3 games, what have you liked most?
Well, I'm going to take a little bit different tact. I think, as advertised on Cam Boozer, he's amazing passer, great court vision. I liked what Omax did as far as he kept the 3-point shot going like he did. They said when he came in, he couldn't shoot it. He's been shooting it well. But I'm going to say Javon Small, for your 3rd point guard, that dude is, Walter Clayton, bye-bye. If you can't make the club in the tub, man, and if he can't get on the court, that spot is Javon Smalls. And he can come in and play even on the big club, even during the run of regular season. Yeah. So, and it's not too big for him. So I'm going to say I really like Javon Small, what I saw from him.
Yeah, I don't see any reason that the front office wouldn't continue to feel confident about what they've seen from Javon Small. Every time he's been given the opportunity, he has thrived in that opportunity and has again. I'm with you, Jarvis, on how he's looked. Saying, I'm coming back to you. In your mind, based on what we've seen so far, the 3 games in Salt Lake City, what's the most important thing the Grizzlies need to accomplish or need to see out in Vegas?
I like to see a little bit more continuity from the team. Like, you've got all these guys that are actually on your roster out there. Let's go out there and try to win this thing. Let's see you kind of run with some guys who are going to be part of what you're doing for real. I like to see Cedric Howard get going a little bit more, not doing too much, but kind of fit into looking like he's too good to be out there, but not trying to play hero ball or anything. But I do want to see more continuity. Like let's go out there and do what we did in 2019, the last time we blew this whole thing up and rebuilt. Let's go out there and win the Summer League again.
I got a follow-up question. Michael, I'm coming to you with it. Is there a balance there? Because I'd ask you that as a front office, you want to see like guys like Cedric Howard, Omax look too good, right, to a point that maybe you can sit them. But to Sane's point, could also see a benefit to pushing this thing, trying to win it like you did in 2019. How much of these main guys, Michael, is the way I'll frame the question, do you think we'll see in Vegas?
I think we're going to see, all of the main guys. And as Summer League coach Eric Schmidt told me last night, the difference between Salt Lake City and Las Vegas Summer League is that a championship is on the table in Salt Lake City. You can scoff at it and say Summer League, it doesn't matter, it's Summer League. But for these young guys, this is their first taste of NBA competition, so it does matter. And you're playing to see how you stack up against the other team's young players. A lot of teams in this league are going to be trending younger with their roster. Not everybody's Oklahoma City right now in the Knicks, where they're at the top, paying all this money and trying to win an NBA championship. Other teams are trying to take the next incremental step. The Grizzlies have a chance with that, with the roster that they're going to be putting out there. And we'll see. Now, hopefully, now that we're in Las Vegas, Kareem Lopez, the other first-round pick, as well as Walter Clayton Jr., will be reevaluated to see if they can, if they can progress from the soreness that kept them out of Salt Lake City, and they'll be added to hopefully in the next couple of days.
Yep, looking forward to seeing what those guys can add, particularly Kareem Lopez. Walter Clayton Jr., as Jarvis said, when Javon Small is playing so well, you know how this franchise feels about Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ty Jerome. Got some work to do, obviously, in that. Now, I want to take a listen to some audio we've got and then respond to it from rookie Cameron Boozer and the aforementioned Eric Schmidt, the Grizzlies Summer League coach. Let's take a listen and we'll react.
The Memphis Grizzlies won their Summer League debut 111-74 over Oklahoma City in the Salt Lake City Summer League. I'm here with Cam Boozer, number 3 overall pick in last month's draft, but right now he's an NBA player. And Cam, you seem to look comfortable in this environment. You've been comfortable at just about every level you played at. What were the nerves like, and potentially what was that comfort level like getting out here for the first time in Summer League?
I think it was more comfort than nerves. I prepared for this. I worked for this. I think our team, we had a great week of practice as well, and we got a lot of competitors. So I'm just ready to get out there with the guys, started gelling. Obviously got a lot to clean up, but from the score, you can see it was a great game overall. So super happy with our first game.
One of the things that I like most about your game, and we talked about it, you said you weren't going to set expectations. It was more about setting a standard, meshing with your teammates, competing at a high level, and then getting a win. But the passing, you guys had 33 assists on 38 made field goals. What was that element like in terms of the ball popping, everyone getting involved?
Yeah, we've got an unselfish group. I think that's fun basketball. 33 assists is a lot for any game, especially in a 40-minute game. So, it's a lot of fun to play with the group of just passing the ball around, playing for each other. So, and at least a great basketball, like a 30-point win like you saw tonight. So, just a great feeling overall.
How do you guys sort of build on that, another day of practice on Sunday, and then you get right back at it on Monday? What are you looking forward to in game 2?
Just competing again. Like I said, not setting expectations, just going out there competing, gelling. Obviously, we want to win, and I just played at a high level for playing for each other. I think today was a great, foundation, but we got to build off that foundation. So excited to keep playing.
All right, the Grizzlies are 1-0 in Salt Lake City Summer League. Next game is on Monday against the host, Utah Jazz. For Cam Boozer or Michael Wallace, keep it locked.
3 games in 4 nights here in Salt Lake City. You guys crammed a lot into a mini camp last week in Memphis. Just where do you assess this team, after a short turnaround like that, processing so much?
They're picking up on things quickly, but like you just said, we're throwing a lot of stuff at them. And we're doing that because we know they're capable of it and they're seeking it. In terms of us, you got to keep, we get a long-term vision of how this is going to not only help us now in Summer League, but how are these things going to help us in the regular season. So although it might seem a lot of heavy lifting early, this stuff is not only going to pay off as we get later into Vegas, but also as we get into the regular season.
What have you noticed the difference between sort of the atmosphere in Vegas versus the atmosphere here in Salt Lake City? It's a little more intimate here, but
Definitely.
Once you get there, it's the entire league. Is there a difference in terms of mindset and approach?
Yeah, there's a championship at the end of the day, right? So anytime you're competing for a championship, the stakes go up and people rise to that level of competition. Mm-hmm. There's also just a level of chaos. Mm-hmm. In the gyms, teams are getting cycled in and out. Sometimes your locker rooms are under the bleachers, more of an AAU, style, which all of our guys have been through that, so nothing, they're unfamiliar with. But we love to embrace that challenge, and we're going to go in there, not only try to get better every day, but try to win every game and just keep fighting.
Couple of things there I want to note, and saying I'm coming to you and interested in your thoughts. On Cameron Boozer, we just talked about how it's unflappable, right? The speed looked fine for him. And he checks all boxes and it looks easy. Mm-hmm. The things he said and what he said to Michael Wallace there, I'm curious. Whether it's a question about him individually as a performer, how he feels, he always seemingly ends up taking it back to team. And I know super happy with our first game. We've got to build on that foundation. I'm asking you this question, saying, how important is what Cameron Boozer says, right, as you look to build a new culture for this Grizzlies organization right now at this time?
I think it's super important, man. You can tell that he's a kid who came from a pro athlete's family. You can tell that his dad was a multi-time All-Star, all those type of things. And I don't think any of this is new to him. I think he's known at an early age that he was going to be somebody's 18-year-old and probably knowing that he was going to go high in the draft, knowing that he was going to be the head of some team that's rebuilding or trying to get, where they need to be or whatever. And I think he's been well-groomed in that area. And I think it's important that he's saying those things, especially for a fan base like ours who's kind of in disarray even, man. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, a lot of worry, a lot of concerns about what the next step may be. And to have him coming in and saying, hey, I'm the guy for that task. You can drop this all on my shoulders and we'll give you guys the product you want to see on the court. I think it's awesome to see those things and hear those things coming from him already.
Michael, you got a chance. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Eric Schmidt, the job he's doing. What stood out to you in terms of his focus and the things he said he wants out of this club going into Vegas?
Well, he's willing to lead by example, right? Like, this is a guy that his communication style is impeccable. You know, no matter what audience he's around, no matter who he's speaking with, he knows how to be relatable in all manners. Like, I love having conversations with him, whether it's just in the hallways or in the hotels or the planes or at the arenas. You know, he knows how to communicate what he wants, and you know, he's easy to talk to. So knowing that, if I'm a player for him, I know that ultimately I'm going to get the truth from him, and I'm going to be held accountable. And he did that in game 2. You know, Cedric Coward was held accountable, even though he played well and led the team as much as he could. There were some things that Cedric Coward needed to do more of a leader, and that message got through. And you know, those guys are important in the summer league when it comes to development, because they're your assistants during the season, your workout coaches during the season, but then he becomes the head coach of the summer league. So he's done a great job getting that message across.
Now I want to get into a couple of predictions here as we look toward Vegas. Again, the Grizzlies will start up playing Vegas Friday against the Chicago Bulls. Jarvis, I'm coming to you first on prediction time. Give me your prediction for a breakout player for the Grizz in Vegas.
Oh, bro, breakout player for the Grizz. First of all, I want to say seeing Cam Boozer stand next to the great Michael Wallace, the guru, it's like, looking at it, yeah, he big boned it and all, but that man, he ain't even got his man muscles yet. You know, he's just 18.
Right.
So can you imagine when he has a chance to get in the weight room full time, not at Duke and doing all the academic stuff, and he's working out full time?
What that body will look like.
Yeah. That body, what is that body? Yeah, what is that body going to look like, and how is he going to be moving people out of the way? I don't know. I think, well, of course, we saw great shooting the other night from Atlanta, the point guard out there, that Peterson, that just looks like he looks like he's unguardable right now.
He does.
Because he just is like, he has been consistent. He was consistent all the way through the Salt Lake City Summer League, 25, 28, 25, 12 assists, 9 assists. And so him, but just as the steady growth pattern, Cam Boozer, man, is just like, he is steady Eddie out there, and he's going to give, and he makes winning plays, and he makes plays that contribute to winning basketball. So I said, you know, I was all on the, oh, man, I want y'all to stay and all that and everything. And, yeah, like I said, I'm over it now because Boozer fits the ideal of what they're doing here. And I think that if they keep going in that mode, which they have done, they've gotten rid of everybody, and they've got this group set right now, as of right now, they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, would love to see, to Jarvis's point, Cam Boozer be even more involved in the offense as you go to Vegas, and you could have that breakout game, that monster game. Maybe it's a 25-10. Perhaps it is a Cameron Boozer that's breaking out for the Grizzlies in Vegas. He's way out already. Would love to see him blow up even more. Michael Wallace, I'm coming to you on this one. Breakout player for the Grizzlies in Vegas, in your mind.
You know, I want to go back to what Jarvis, pointed out, a few minutes ago. I think my breakout player is going to be Javon Small. I think from the standpoint, he knows what's at stake. He knows that there's going to be a roster crunch, or there is a roster crunch, and, positions are going to be hard to come by. Two ways are going to be hard to hold on to. Whatever you got to do to stay on this roster, you got to do it. And that starts right now. So I think Javon Small, Summer League is built for him to be effective. And I think he's going to rise to the occasion even more so in Las Vegas than what we saw in Salt Lake City. And he was impressive in Salt Lake City.
Like that pick, Javon Small. Same for you, breakout guy for the Grizzlies in Vegas?
Yeah, interesting question, man. I don't disagree with anything I've heard. I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna come out of left field a little bit. I would love to see Taylor Hendricks kind of go off a little bit, and because I think there's going to be a position battle at that backup power forward spot, right? I mean, I think that we know that Cam Boozer is going to be your 4. You moved off of Santi Aldama, so I think it's going to be wide open to see who that guy's going to be. Is it going to be Taylor Hendricks? Is it going to be Omax? Are you going to do Jeremy Grant? Is he going to be your backup 4? I think Jeremy Grant's going to end up being your starting 3. But anyway, between those two guys, Omax and Taylor Hendricks, I would love to see Taylor Hendricks kind of stand out and show I want that spot. I want to be in this 10-man rotation of this team. I would love to see him have a great breakout and maybe see even some chemistry between him and Cam Boozer out there in Las Vegas. That's what I would love to see.
Say and I talked about Hendricks on my radio show today. Intriguing prospect who's seemingly gotten bigger in the offseason, had 3 blocks, and has shown he can give you some rim protection as well. But he's versatile, still young. I know it's his fourth year, but only played 102 games. I love that pick, saying I want to see more of Hendricks to Taylor too, and see more of what he can do. Let's change gears. Want to now get into where the Grizzlies are with this roster. You heard Michael Wallace mention the roster crunch. We talked last week about the Isaiah Stewart trade and what Beef Stew can bring to the table. The Grizzlies have since added, at least reportedly, former Golden State center Quentin Post on a reported 3-year deal, and acquired 11-year NBA veteran D'Angelo Russell in a 6-team deal that included the Stewart and Santi Aldama deals. Think I read that the Grizzlies are up to 24 players now. So, Jarvo, what do you think of the way Zach Kleiman has gone about reshaping clearly a front court that now could include a veteran center rotation of Zach Edey, Isaiah Stewart, and Quentin Post from Golden State?
Well, please keep the graphic up there. I think it's been a masterful job by King Kleiman. That's why he got the nickname in the first place, because of what he could do in the draft and in these off-season moves here with Jeremy Grant. Yeah, you bring in a vet for, in the John Morant trade, you had to get something for it. He was able to get that without giving away draft picks.
Yep.
And Jeremy Grant, he can give you 20 on occasion. He averaged 18.5 last year. Bringing in Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart, you need that backup big that is an enforcer. They needed somebody in there that won't let the other guys get punked out.
That's right.
Whenever Draymond Green, whoever else wants to be talking mess, don't talk no mess, man, if you can't bring it. And Isaiah Stewart will be that guy. And also, They did finally do the Quentin Post. It's finalized.
Yes. Okay.
Now, he's a different kind of big. Now he's 7 feet, 240 pounds, but he's basically your wing guy that can shoot threes. Your stretch five, so to speak. So you can switch up. When you got the guys down low, Beef, and then you can switch up in that front court.
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell, bye-bye. I know he's not going to be a Grizz. A.J. Miles, bye-bye. He's not going to be a Grizz. But I think they've done a lot of things playing chess, not checkers. We're making moves in the future, and I like the way they did that deal with Quentin Post, where they forced Golden State's hands, so now they can't do some things they wanted to by making that offer to Post that they couldn't back up.
I like the way you've already made some of the roster decisions, made Zach Kleiman work easy for him, Jarvo, on this one in terms of a couple of the bye-byes. Michael, we know they've got to get it down to 18 by the regular season. You got plenty of time. But who's likely, in your mind, on the bubble in terms of making the roster this for 26-27?
Well, I mean, when you expand, and the reason why they went over in terms of all of these guys on sort of guaranteed contracts right now is because there has to be they have to trim from that standpoint. So again, all of these guys are professionals. They're all Memphis Grizzlies as of right now. And they've all maintained professionalism at that. So it's going to be important to understand that now it's just about accounting, right? So first and foremost, to me, you got to figure out what the buyout potential situation is going to be with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I think that's the first domino from that standpoint. The other things kind of figure out, they go from there. What's going to happen, with AJ that came over from Dallas, from Portland. What's going to happen with D'Angelo Russell? He doesn't seem to be a fit for where the Grizzlies are going in terms of personality and personnel from that standpoint. And then, Walter Clayton Jr., is he going to be a guy that's going to factor as a guaranteed first-round pick just a season or so ago on this roster moving forward? So those are three guys right there that you start with. Okay, they're on the bubble, and then everything else will sort out from there.
No, clearly those are going to be some of the names we're watching closely. Walter Clayton Jr. Needing to play out in Vegas, feeling like, I know he couldn't play in Salt Lake City, but with the way Javon Small's playing, you know how they feel about Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ty Jerome. He's got to get out there and prove something if he wants to remain a part of this organization. I'm with you guys on that. Saying Zach Kleiman's done a lot here this offseason. We know the Grizzlies are in position, even though there's a lot of roster spots that have been taken up. You could take on more money if you wanted to. Is there one more move the Grizzlies need or should make here in the offseason in your mind?
I think a lot of people want us to go get a high-level starting point guard. I think that would be cool. If I woke up and saw that we got, some great point guard, it'd be cool. But I don't think that's something that really has to be done. I kind of think they're fine where they are, man. I would like them to kind of go into the season and see how other teams are moving, and teams who you may have thought were going to be good, they're not good, and say, well, maybe we need to move off of this guy. You still got that $29 million trade exception. Yep. I think as far as having a team that's ready to go out there and compete and win a few games this year, I think they can do that now as the roster is. and I would wait to kind of see how other teams move before I do anything. Like, if can I convince a guy like Ty Jerome, like, hey, come in, have a heck of a season, and I know you didn't sign up to be a part of a rebuild, but hey, come out here, be our starting point guard. We might win you over, and you might be in a situation where you look really good to the rest of the league as a starting point guard, and then you can do something with that. But I wouldn't. I think right now they need to just focus on getting it down to that 15 guaranteed spots and getting into the season, and then kind of playing it from there, because you still got time. You don't have to. The trade exception you have, it doesn't expire until late January with Jaren. So I would kind of go into the season. Yeah, I would go into the season, see what I have, and then go from there.
I just think that's the other part about how Zach has moved here in the offseason. The fact that you've been able to maintain all of that huge trade exception, to Sane's point, it's giving you a nice
all
asset.
your first round picks. You haven't sent out. You thought they might make some first round pick moves to move up in the draft this year. They didn't do that. So you literally got all your picks still.
Got them all.
It could be very interesting trade deadline for us this year.
Flush with assets, no question about it. Good convo there. When we come back, we'll take a look at the best highlights from Salt Lake City in best dunk, dime, and defensive play. Hopefully a lot of them will be Grizzlies. We'll do that on the other side, as well as ask the panel which team has helped itself the most this offseason as we take a spin around the rest of the league. Don't change that dial. This is Grizz Beat on Grind City Media.
Let's face it. There's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Grizzlies are on their way to a new era, and now's the perfect time to buy in and secure your seat to witness history. With the 2026-27 half-season tickets, you can see the future take shape in real time. With a talented draft class joining our young core and starting this season, half-season ticket holders can own the moments with all new MVP benefits, including inside access to exclusive events, perks that match your passion, and rewards that take your fan experience to the next level. More information, visit grizzlies.com/tickets or just call 901-888-HOOP or grizzlies.com/tickets.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Pressure-packed moment in sports, hands down, has to be shootout in the World Cup. Because I am a casual fan of the beautiful game called football. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to throw up for all of these teams, for every kick.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies' new draft picks and rising stars will take the court together for the first time at Summer League in July, and the home for every moment of action is Grind City Media. Coverage for Grizzlies Summer League, which continues in Vegas on Friday, presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners, tips off with the 3 days of action we saw in Salt Lake City. But now you're headed to Vegas from July 9th to 19th. It'll start, as we said, on Friday for the Grizzlies. Download the Grind City Media app today to stream your team all summer and watch the future of Grizzlies basketball take shape. Welcome back to Grizz Beat. Now it's time for some highlights. It's our best dunk, dime, and defensive play. Each week we look at the best highlights assembled by our man Darnell Brady. We vote on them. And hopefully this week, out of the best of Summer League, or at least the Salt Lake City Summer League, we'll see plenty of Grizzlies flavor. Let's start with best dunk.
With dads who played the game. Wicked.
Carson Cooper on the alley.
You have to show coaches and GMs.
That's Toppin, Jacob Toppin of the Hawks there, going against our man Carson Cooper, I believe, caught that alley for the Grizzlies. Jarvo, I'm coming to you. Which one's better?
Oh, I'm going number one. Look at this, Alex. Just a perfect little left-hand flip over Adai Mara, who's 7'3", 4", whatever he is.
And from your man Javon Small,
yeah,
looks
that's
like.
what I'm saying. And Cooper makes the catch and gets the flush. I'm going to go number one.
All right, I like it. We're going Grizzlies on number one from Jarbo. Saying, how about you?
Nah, my boy Toppin looked nasty on that joint, man.
He got up.
He landed like he kind of froze in the air a little bit.
He did.
Super athletic move, man. That man looked nasty on that one. Yeah, I'm going with him. My boy, Carson Cooper, wish you the best, brother, but I'm going with him.
Going with Jacob Toppin on this one. Michael Wallace will take the bias out of it. Which one's better?
Hey, I'm gonna go. I gotta go with with all respect to my Grizz, I gotta go with Toppin. And here's the reason why: because I was right on the baseline facing him when he did that. I had walked down to get into the tunnel, and I saw that. I was literally maybe 15 feet away from the dude, looking at it from the baseline. I was like, damn, he's still in the air. Wow.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Hey, man, that levitation is nice, but, man, this is a dunk over a 7'4" guy who knew it was coming and tried to block it. There was no way that
out of position, though. He was kind of out of position, and he led him to the layup. Hey, look. Both
as a rookie, man, rookie.
But I got to go with my man Toppin on that one.
I will back. I like what I've seen from Carson Cooper so far. Here, the early returns look good for a guy we expect to be on a two-way. Let's go now to Best Dime.
He said he wasn't really happy with his debut.
Boozer.
Right now he's off to a 7-point start.
Who's D'ing up? One of the best players on the other team. Who's making a difference in some way.
Nice. Trey Burton, I believe, on that assist. We saw some facilitation from our man Cameron Boozer. Jarvo, which one you like better?
That's a kind of a tough one because that was a nice from Taylor Burton, who's on the hustle, slipped that through three people all the way for the three-pointer on the baseline. And Cam Boozer, this is just a nice over-the-top pass. I'm going to go with Taylor Burton on this one.
Okay.
Because he slipped it all the way across the lane through three sets of hands, and for the three, boom. And I'll give it to Taylor Burton on that.
Okay, Jarbo took off the Grizzlies colored glasses and picked Mr. Burton on this one. It surprised me a little bit.
Hustle colored glasses.
Hustle colored glasses in this case. Same for you. Which one's better?
Yeah, I'm going Taylor Burton, but I've seen some better Cam Boozer passes in the summer league.
But
yeah, I gotta go Taylor Burton. On this particular one, it's Taylor Burton, Tyler Burton, whatever his name is. Halliburton, whatever his name is. But yeah, Cam has some better passes than that, in my opinion, man. But yeah, I'm going my guy Burton this time.
How about you, Mike Wallace? Is it all of us? Are we with
I'm
Burton?
going to say Taylor Burton, Tyler Burton, Halliburton.
TB.
Hey, Jarvis and
LeVar Burton
are both wrong on that one.
Mr. Contrarian.
The fact that Cam Boozer's 34 feet away from the basket and put a touch on it to get it over the top of the first defender, and before the free safety can come over on the baseline to get it right in there, man.
That one angle it looked real good.
That would have been a first down, or it would have been a goal, and it was a goal in basketball. That would have been a great pass in any sport that he participated in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You made a great case, Michael. I think I was with Burton at first, but just because that pass was, perfect doesn't mean it wasn't difficult. Throwing it from where?
Then over the shoulder thing look a lot more difficult.
I mean,
it just goes to his basketball mind. He saw it.
It does.
He knew the play was there, and he knew where to put the ball where Omax could catch it and do something with. But that cross court, man, all the way through all those people in perfect shooting form for the three. I had to go with him. That may be the last time we call his name, so I'm gonna give him his props right now.
Well, you won this one, brother. Let's look now at best defensive play.
I like for them to watch how patient a lot of these players are and how calmly they
I love that one.
Well, you couldn't write a better script, could you, for the beginning of this game?
National College Player of the Year, Cameron Boozer, averaged nearly 23 points,
all right,
10 rebounds. That turnover.
So, Coward involved in both. Who gets credit in that first one for the block? Was it Coward or was it Boozer? Either way, he's involved in both. You see the steal in the second one. Which defensive play, Jarvis, do you like better?
Well, Coward got the credit for that first block, and Boozer was there just in case. But that second one-on-one, I'm going to go with number 2 because he just one-on-one in front of everybody, God and country and his mom and dad and everybody else. Say, look, I'm going to undress you right here at midcourt, take off your shoes and socks, and I'm going the other way for the flush. I'm going to say number 2 with Cedric Coward.
Yeah, that's great individual ball pressure up top there.
And he's got
Cedric.
that, 7'2" wingspan?
That's the thing about it with those long arms.
You need that length, buddy.
Makes him tough to get around defensively. Same for you. Which one's better?
I want to say the second one because his timing on that pass was really good, and it led to a bucket on the other end. And I hope we see more of that from Seth this year. It looks like they're trying to get him going is more of a primary defender. As they kind of hit him a little, not hit him, but they kind of left that to Jalen Wells last year. And if they can get said going as your primary defender, I think that'll be good. And showing that on-ball defense, I'm going with number 2.
Michael Wallace, for you, is it said? Which said is it?
Hey, first said, I'm going to go against the crew on this one yet again, because when you look at in totality, the weight of what he was able to do to block a shot, right? Like he came over from help side defense to get the block.
Yes, he did.
And that play ended with him pulling up for a 3-pointer. So it showed the skill, it showed the athleticism, it showed the wingspan, and it showed the absolute epitome of what he can do on both ends of the floor. Blocking a shot on one end as a 6'5" guard, going and pulling up with the soft touch from 3-point at the top of the key. It goes number 1 for me.
Yep, I like what Michael said there. They've Grizzlies clearly given him a green light offensively,
right.
but he has continued, and he even said it after his second performance where he didn't have except but 1 rebound. He's continued to do the other things and show the willingness, whether it's playing defense, whether it's as an assist man or whatever else. That's Cedric Coward for you. Now let's do some fill in the blank on a few key topics as we take a spin around the NBA. Jarvis, we're going to you first. The team that's helped itself the most via draft, trade, free agency, all of it in your mind is?
I'm going to say it's the Sixers picking up Jaylen Brown, Jalen Luther King coming in, because you add him to that lineup.
Yes, sir.
And if the big guy is able to play at all, they could go all the way because they got a lot of scores all the way around. And Jaylen Brown, I said, well, maybe he'll be happy now that he's out of Boston. And you know that dude is a dog.
Yep.
He can play. And I'm going to say it's the Sixers.
I love that pick, Jarvis. We are in unison on that. Saying I'm coming to you. Which team's done the most for itself in terms of improvement this offseason so far?
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it's the Sixers as well. I'm gonna add a little bit more to it though. They showed that if you make yourself a competitive team and you can kind of build that foundation to go from being a bad team to they weren't a good team this year. They got a first round win, but they weren't nobody thought the Sixers was gonna be a top team in the East. But they look competitive enough where when you add a guy like Jaylen Brown, and in a Jaylen Brown trade, they just send him wherever they felt like sending him to. I'm sure he had some type of voice in what team he was his final destination team. And for them to be a team that can go from being a team that was a lottery team to making the playoffs, and now a team that when you add a guy like Jaylen Brown, looks like you're ready to compete for, coming out of the East even. I think that's a good job, not just this year, but last year as well, preparing this team to be a team that's ready to compete this year by adding a guy like Jaylen Brown.
Yep, I've also added Anthony Simons. I've also added Dean Wade for now as the starting 4. And if
they got scores.
They added LeBron James, I'm just saying, for you, Michael Wallace, what's the team that's helped itself the most?
Yeah, the Sixers obviously are the obvious answer. And instead of going 3 straight with them, I'm going to go with the Raptors because the Sixers, even though they didn't, even though when you look at what they had last year, they still were expectations there because they brought over Paul George and Embiid and obviously the young guys in that backcourt. So expectations were there. They didn't live up to them as much last year because of injuries. Jalen Luther King is going to put them over the top. But to me, the Raptors are a team that nobody saw coming this past season. And now you got an NBA champion, the guy that led you to your finals in your NBA championship, and Kawhi Leonard coming to mature this group. This was Johnny Gill joining New Edition. Taking them to the taking them from a teeny bop boy group into a group that was going to finesse the ladies all across the world from that standpoint. So that's what Kawhi Leonard is going to do with the Raptors.
I like that. I like that. Toronto definitely going to be a contender, certainly in the East. Now we're going to go to the other side of the room saying the team that's helped itself the least, that's hurt itself this offseason or just hadn't done anything in your mind, the worst of the pile is?
I've been saving myself for this one, man. I can give you this answer every year. The Lakers, man. I can't stand them. Never have. There's so many easy built-in jokes. I'm not gonna get the low-hanging fruit, man. But what are y'all doing over there, man? For real. You traded away a ton of assets to get Walker Kessler, which makes no sense to me at all. You let my guy Rui Hachimura, you let him ride.
Yeah, let Rui go.
Yeah, and if you were too good for LeBron, you let it be known you didn't want him at all. I think they're going to be absolutely terrible next season for sure. And you might go get, I think they might go get Kuminga or something like that. They ain't no dip on the chip, man. They're going to be terrible. They're going to be terrible, and I love to see it. Which I also hate that they're about to be terrible because now I got a feeling that that Luka and Jokic are going to end up getting together. Like, all right, bro. But the Lakers have done nothing this offseason for sure.
Saints on Lakers. Michael Wallace, the team that's helped itself the least is?
Hey, this time a year ago, we were all excited about what the Rockets could potentially do with Kevin Durant.
Oh, man.
That team was supposed to be competing with OKC as the number 2 team in the West.
Yep.
What have they done since they got hurt? They didn't do any major things in the offseason this season. They didn't really draft that well. And they just they just plummeted down the West from that standpoint. So I would say the Rockets because they haven't done absolutely anything to help that roster.
Like that pick as well. Jarvo, for you, who's helped himself the least?
Well, for nothing else, I'm going to say the Pelicans because I really hadn't heard what the Pelicans have done about anything. You know, they still got the basic same roster that they had, which they didn't go anywhere with that roster.
Couldn't draft anybody because that went to the Hawks.
That's correct. So, I mean, what can they do? They haven't done anything yet. Maybe is there still time?
Yep.
There's still time for them to do something, but they haven't done anything else. So I'm going to say the Pels.
Hopefully what they can do is stay below the Memphis Grizzlies in the standings.
That'd be great.
Old Joe Dumars over there running things for the Pelicans. Michael, we're seeing stars changing teams all over the league. Giannis, Jaylen Brown, we've mentioned a couple of guys, LaMelo to Minnesota. You got LeBron about to join a new team via free agency. The prolific movement of star players the past 2 years as a sign the NBA is what?
Really challenging its fan base's loyalty because who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for players now? Or are you in NFL? It's all about teams for the most part. In the NBA now, your favorite player is jumping around every other year. It's hard to keep up, and I think that's a challenge for NBA fan bases to follow who you're going to follow for that standpoint.
Absolutely. Those jerseys change. You see those Jaylen Brown fans, those kids, boy, they're crying. I mean, times have changed, certainly when you're willing to move on from a finals MVP in this sense, the guy you won the championship with. Jarvis, for you, what does it say, all this star player movement?
I think this kind of piggybacks off what Michael said. I think it's the second apron, man. That second apron is a booger bear. Nobody wants to get into it. I mean, the Knicks won the championship. And Dolan comes out like the next 2 days and says, I don't think we can keep this group together. Next thing you know, Mitchell Robinson gone. Yeah. That brother gone, as you do on J&J show. So it's like, hey, man, it's like that thing is a real deal.
It is.
Nobody wants to mess with it. And so when your top players get there, you can't keep these super team, quote unquote, together. Somebody's got to go, and I think that's the second apron.
Yep, even championship contenders are showing they're scared of it.
In big markets.
100%. Same for you. What's it all say?
Yeah, it's showing that this CBA is really just destroying the league. Like this latest, like Jarvis was saying about the whole the aprons and things like that. That it's eating itself alive, man. I did some numbers the other day on Twitter for a post, just talking about how much things are different. The most that a team has as far as guys, like from the 2021-22 season, right, which is what 5 years ago. The most that one team has of guys that are still on their roster from back then is 4 guys. No team has more than 4 guys on it from 2021-22.
Interesting.
And that's only 2 teams in the entire NBA have 4 guys on it. So there's a lot of teams that have 0. Most have either 2 or 1, but nobody had more than 4 guys. And there's only 2 teams in the entire league. Like I said, man, it's punishing itself with this new CBA, man, where you can't be rewarded by keeping your guys. You can't draft well. You know what I mean? Even if you're it used to be draft well, you can build a championship. Even if you draft well, man, you got like 4 years to do this thing because when it's time to pay everybody, it's going to be over.
Yep.
What are those 2 teams? Saying, what are those 2 teams?
Those 2 teams are the Boston Celtics, who have the Orlando Magic, who have Jonathan Isaac, who just came back. Hold on, Mike. Real bad podcasting there. Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs are still in Orlando. And the other team is, one second, the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser. Those are only 2 teams that have 4 guys.
All right.
Wow. Sam, I'm coming back to you on this one. A rookie, I've loved this question, a rookie I've underestimated, but will definitely buy more stock in, doesn't have to be a Grizzly. Your pick here.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm not going to say I underestimated him because I think I've kind of had him ranked higher than a lot of people have, but I think actually seeing him in Summer League play has made me more impressed. And that's Kingston Flemings. I think that, like I talked to Grizzlies fans about this a lot because a lot of people are like, well, who's our point guard going to be, right? But like Atlanta went out and they got a CJ McCollum who's kind of got them above water, a young team. They brought the vet in to kind of stabilize everything. And this year's draft, they went and got their point guard. And he looks super fast. He can score. He's hitting in the mid-range. He's playing defense. He's hitting threes. He's been everything he's advertised and more. And I think with that fit with the Atlanta Hawks, he's really going to look good playing with that team for sure.
All right, like that pick, Kingston Fleming for the Hawks for saying Michael Wallace for you, guy you've underestimated, but you're buying stock in him now.
A day more. I saw him in Salt Lake City as well, 7'3". He has some offense in his game. Like, he's not just a big stiff, like from a big guy that is a canvas. This guy has some skill. He has some up and under moves. He has some great footwork. I think he's going to be a lot better. And Oklahoma City uncovered another diamond right there at 7'3". We'll see what happens with Jack Holmgren long term, because a day more is on.
How about you, Jarvis?
Well, I'm always going to keep it Memphis-centric. You know that. I'm going to say Carson Cooper. The few times he's been out there in the court, 3 times really, he's played well. Looked good as a backup big man. They'll have him. He's on a two-way already. They'll have him down there at the hustle. They can call him up if need be. And he looks like a guy that can play, which I didn't really know that much about him until they signed him. But he's on the team, and it looks like he's a player.
Yeah, stepped outside, knocked down 3 last night against the Hawks. You see, he's got a shot on him as well. Hopefully going to be a solid rebounder for them as well on that two-way. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Michael Wallace's top 10 biggest Eastern Conference threats to the Knicks. So basically a power ranking of what is a new look East. Hopefully it'll be an education for us all, and we'll see if our man Michael Wallace got it right. Stay tuned. This is Grizz Beat on Grind City Media.
Stay on top of everything happening in the 901, the Mid-South, and beyond with Grind City Media's e-newsletter, bringing all the news and notes directly to your inbox. Lang's World, always by Lang Whitaker, touches on the biggest stories in the world of sports and pop culture, while Michael Wallace's Grizzlies Insider brings you all the latest coverage and analysis around the Grizzlies and NBA. Don't miss a thing. Stay connected to the conversation and sign up to download the lowdown today at grindcitymedia.com. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Bennett, the NBA Cup Championship game next season, going to be played at historic Hinkle Fieldhouse on campus at Butler University. You tell me, some people are calling it a disaster. I would argue it's not only not a disaster, it's an improvement. The idea of let's take this cool new thing and put it in Las Vegas made sense on a very surface level.
Yeah.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. This Photoshop job of the College Football 27 cover for this year is atrocious. Like, who made this? It's so bad.
This is the deluxe edition. So you have to pay extra to get Kurt Signetti on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying extra to get Kurt Signetti?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Your seat at the heart of Grizz Nation with a 2026-27 season ticket membership. You can experience all the action of the Grizzlies season with the best ticket prices, exclusive benefits, and access reserved for the most loyal fans. Be a part of what's next and be there for every towel-waving moment to come. Visit grizzlies.com/season tickets to see the full list of pricing, perks, and benefits and become an MVP like Jarvo today.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Grizz Beat. Now let's take a look at Michael Wallace's top 10 biggest Eastern Conference threats to the Knicks. It's basically a power ranking behind the Knicks of a new look East. Michael, I hand it to you.
As long as they can stay healthy, congratulations to them what they did to win that championship. But now that the draft is behind us, first wave of free agents is behind us, and now the trade season is already, kind of in full gear. Here's my top 10 list of the biggest threats to the Knicks Eastern Conference. We'll do the West next week. But the Sixers, Raptors, Pacers, Pistons, Celtics, Heat, Hawks, Cavaliers, Wizards, and Magic are the 10 teams that I think are the biggest threats in that particular order, some more than others. And I'll open it up right now for debate, man, because, again, the East is going to be a beast, again, going into next season.
I feel like Detroit needs to be higher in that we're disrespecting our man J.B. Bickerstaff, putting them behind Indiana, which I know they're getting Halliburton back. But Cade Cunningham was an MVP level player last year. Jalen Duren, I know, ineffective in playoffs, but boy, was he all NBA during the regular season. They've added John Collins. You lost a lot. Tobias Harris was big in the playoffs. They've lost him. Feels like they need to add another piece or two, but just out of respect, number 1 seed last year, I'll push them above the Pacers. Otherwise, I think you've got the list right. Really like the 76ers at number 1 is the biggest threat.
Respect doesn't mean anything, man, unless you could do it on the court. And the last team to eliminate the Knicks on the court were the Indiana Pacers, right? And they got stronger from the roster that they had the year when they did get there. They added Ivan. And if Halliburton can come back and be the player that Anthony Sane knows he can be, then you know. They're going to be expected.
Put it on you.
I'm going to let J.B. Bickerstaff know how you feel about his team this year, Michael Wallace. Sane, any problems with the list?
Oh, you know what my problem is, man. You know, it's only a handful of franchises I despise, man. Get Miami off the list, bro. Like, don't move them down. Get them off there, bro. They are not there. All them teams up there are better than them, bro. Get them out.
You don't like heat culture, I'm saying?
Man, what is heat culture? LeBron. That's heat culture. Unless he coming back, get him out of there, man.
Yeah.
Get him out of there, Mike.
He's still in the running to go back to the Heat. I think that'll pop their front court. And you're talking about LeBron alongside Giannis and Bam Adebayo. I'm not sure if that's going to necessarily work.
Hey, Giannis get it.
Having said that, you got to put some respect on Giannis's name, not only just because you respect him, but because he's had that chip on his shoulder, and he's not too far removed from the player who won an NBA championship in Milwaukee.
Man,
so respect.
Couldn't even get his boy. He couldn't even get his boy Chris Middleton to get with him, man. Get him out of here. You guys are done. They're done.
Jarvo, you got any issues with Michael's list here?
I'm going to say, take the Wizards out until they do something. What the Wizards done? I mean, they drafted, they got high draft picks and all that good stuff. They haven't done anything yet. I almost said something that I'm not going to say, but I don't see the Wizards doing anything again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just put your favorite team on here, Michael Wallace. That's what Jarvo's saying.
Yeah, man.
That ain't my favorite team. That's my hometown team. But I will say this, though, man. Last time Trae Young took a less talented Hawks team to the Eastern Conference Finals than the talent that's going to be around him in Washington. If Anthony Davis shows up. Anthony Davis, A.J. DeBosta, and Trae Young can be a nice little big three to start off with. And then they got those young guys. Alex Sarr still coming back. Koulibaly still there. You have some pieces right there. Washington's going to be a surprise team to watch.
Yeah, 5 easy pieces.
He was fighting us off today. Michael was fighting us off today.
No, man. It's like
there you go.
Hit him with the left. Nuck if you
go. Good list. Now, next week we'll do the West there. Now, and what biggest threats to the Spurs? Obviously, know how that's going to look at the top. You figure this East is going to be intriguing how it plays out. Let's do some confidence meter. It's our weekly gauge of our panel's belief level in a few key topics. Jarvis, you got the first crack. How confident are you that the Grizzlies should at least be a play-in team next season? Should be a play-in team.
I'm going to say confident. If you look at that lineup, if they go with Edey and they go with Boozer and the other guys,
you like Jeremy Grant 3?
Yes, I like Jeremy Grant in the starting lineup. Also, Ty Jerome point a minute. I mean, he showed he could play. They had to pull that man off the court because if he stayed out there, they'd be winning games. So I like that, and they've got length, they've got some size. And if they just stay healthy, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be a play.
There you go. I mean, we're saying at least be a play-in team. Jarvis is confident. Michael Wallace, where are you on this one?
The key word is should, and that's why it's capitalized right there. No, they shouldn't be a play-in team because I don't think that they are in the top 10 just yet. They're still young, man. This is trending. If they get there, it's a significant step, but I still see it's going to be hard to climb over 4 other teams in the West right now. To get to 10, it's going to be tough, but I think they can do it. But should they? No, I think it'll be expected.
Zach Edey's a monster, man. Zach Edey's a monster if he's healthy.
To Wallace's point, the should in there changes the sort of the tone of the question. Same for you. We got one confident, we got one not confident. Should the Grizzlies at least be a play-in team next season? How confident are you?
You could just copy and paste what Mike said. For me, it's the same thing. When you put the shit in there, it's like I'm expecting them to be a play-in team. Like, that's not where I am. I think they very well could be. I think they got a lot of talent to be a very dangerous team out in the West that can give a lot of teams a headache. But saying I expect them to be a play-in team, but saying I expect them to be top 10 in the West, very well could. They could be, 8 in the West, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to predict that I'm not going to make that as a prediction, though.
Yeah, shouldn't say they should be there when you've just started this rebuild. That said, maybe they get there
Yeah,
to
it's y'all's
that
opinion.
point.
I'm
Michael,
saying they're there.
Hey, Jarvo is an MVP. He says they should be there. It matters. Michael, what's your confidence level that SGA, who's won the last 2 MVPs, will become the first player, you pointed this out, I didn't realize it, in 40 years to win 3 straight MVPs? How confident are you that he can do it?
LeBron didn't do it. Jordan didn't do it. Magic didn't do it. Shaq didn't do it. The last person that did it was Larry Bird, right? Now, analytically, and what Shea is going to do next year if he stays healthy, he certainly should be at the top of that list. But I don't think the voters are going to. I'm confident that he could do it if the voters just put aside their biases and allow him to play and look at the numbers. I'm confident, not very confident.
Okay. Got a confident vote from Michael Wallace saying for you, how confident that it's 3 straight MVPs for SGA?
Well, man, he's cut the braids off, and he's out there looking like a black vampire lately with the apparel he's been having on, looking like Blade or somebody. So I don't know. He looked locked in. You know, he looked like he ready on. He got the Nike deal. He looked like he locked in. But I think they can't wait to give this award to Wemby. So I think it's just a formality that he gets it next year, and we'll stop SGA's reign in 2 years.
I'm with you. You got an alien that's due up here in just a minute. Jarvis, for you, how confident are you?
They need to take SGA and give him some better looking shoes, man. It was in hospital sneakers he wears.
Hospital sneakers.
But I'm going to say not confident because I think after the year that Brunson had with the Knicks, it's in a big market. Everybody's looking at the Knicks, and there'll be a lot more focus on him. And there's so many players in the league. It's really, really hard to do, especially with the alien over there in San Antonio.
Saying, how confident are you that the Giannis trade to Miami will be the offseason's most impactful transaction? We've seen a lot of them.
I'm not confident in that at all. I've like I said on your show, man, I'm not convinced that Giannis even really cares about winning a championship that much. Because why would he be campaigning to go to Miami? And then taking away the little bit of depth they did have. That team lacks a lot. Why would he want to go there so bad? Seems like he's setting up his vacation home, his retirement home in Miami more than anything.
How about you, Jarvis?
I'm going to say not confident. I stick with the Philly trade getting Jaylen Brown. I think that's the biggest move because they're going to take them from good to great.
I'm with you on that one, the Jaylen Brown one. For you, Michael Wallace, confident that the Giannis trade will be the biggest one, most impactful?
I'm confident. I'm not overconfident, but I'm going to say confident because I think where Miami was when we got there at the back of the play-in level, they're going to be a top 3 team. I really think they're going to be top 3, top 4. That's a significant jump. That's an impactful jump. I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but I'm saying they're going to factor in this championship race.
All right, let's finish up with a quick pick and roll because I love the question. Best case to start at small forward for the Grizzlies next season, is it Jalen Wells or Jeremy Grant? For me, it's Jeremy Grant. Go ahead and put the vet in. At this point, I realize Jalen Wells, hopefully we want to see more, but I'm going with the guy, Jeremy Grant. Heck, averaged 18 points to your point. I want to win some games next year. For me, it's Jeremy Grant. Anthony, same for you. Who is it?
I'm going the same thing. This is who we wish that Jalen Wells could be one day. You know what I mean? If he ends up being a Jeremy Grant type player, he's an absolute steal at the second round. He's not there yet. 6'7", high-level defender. Probably not the high-level defender he used to be. Still knocked down. He's shooting about 40% from 3, 18.5 points a game. Let him be the vet. Let Jalen Wells learn from him how to be, that 3-and-D type of archetype player.
Yep.
But I'm going with Jeremy Grant for sure.
Yep, helps you space that floor with that shooting. Jarvis, for you.
3 in a row, Jeremy Grant. I think Jalen Wells would be fine with coming off the bench. It'd be harder to make a vet come off the bench in front of a 3-year guy.
Yep.
And so I think just for mentally, for chemistry-wise. And I think Jalen Wells would be fine, perfectly fine with that. But, man, 18 points a game, you can't sniff at that. He's a really good player and a hard worker, and I think it's Jeremy Grant.
It's 3 Jeremy Grants. Michael, you with that?
No, I'm going to go Jalen Wells, and it's not because of either one of their ability. I think it's balance, roster, rotation. I think you need a nice 6-man of the year candidate coming off your bench. Jeremy Grant can be that in the right situation, and Jalen can be more of a defensive presence in that starting unit.
All right, that's our show for this week. Make sure you keep it locked to Grind City Media. The Grizzlies start back Summer League play in Las Vegas on Friday against the Chicago Bulls. Want to thank our panelists today, Jarvo, Michael Wallace, Anthony Sane, the great CJ Hurt, for keeping us together, and our wonderful team behind the scenes. For our entire Grizz Beat team, I'm Jason. Keep on grinding.